aviation analyst Fabrizio Poli joins me now from Manchester. Fabrizio, so how long is a long time for the 737 MAX to get back in the air? When's it going to take?
Well, as you just said in your report, with the coronavirus hit the airline industry big time. Already there were a lot of doubts around the 737 MAX before. A lot of airlines ordered Airbus instead of Boeing's. A lot of people cancelled their orders. I mean, are the other civil aviation authorities around the world, apart from the FAA, going to certify this airplane that's now been rejigged and revamped and whatnot? Or are the airlines are going to use this as an excuse because they're going through, the crisis because of the coronavirus? I mean, I think at the end of the day, how many people are actually going to travel by air now once the whole lockdown has ended? And how many airlines are going to use the excuse of not, going ahead with their order on the 737 MAX, the excuse of the coronavirus? So, I mean, I think Boeing are not in a good position right now. I mean, they're doing all these tests on the airplane. They're making it safer. That's all very good. But how much is that going to translate into confidence in the market? I mean, number one, is the passenger going to fly? And if they're going to fly, are they going to fly on a 737 MAX? Now, that's a question which, honestly, I don't think any of us can answer until we actually see this thing come on the market and see how the public reacts. But certainly, if I were an airline right now, I wouldn't order it. I would be, I'd play it safe and order something that, I know is going to gain passenger confidence more quickly than the 737 MAX. And I'm saying that being a Boeing pilot myself and having flown almost 6,000 hours on the 737, never had a problem with it. Unfortunately, this is the situation today.
Okay, you say that you're saying that airlines will mostly are more likely to cancel their orders. As a passenger, will you fly on it?
Me? That's a good question. Depends on the airline. Depends on the airline. If it's a certain types of airlines that I know about and I can trust, yes. If it's other types of airlines, no, without obviously throwing any names out there. So depending on who operates the airplane, if it's operated by a safe airline, I would get on the 737 MAX.
Okay, so you think it's a matter of sort of cockpit and pilot training. All right. Orders worth hundreds of these 737 MAX planes have been canceled. Just this morning, I was reading a Norwegian airline canceled close to 100. I think it was 97 planes. I mean, even if this grounded airline is given the green light by the FAA, is it feasible for Boeing to continue manufacturing these planes when you're seeing massive orders being canceled? Is it going to be financially feasible for the company to continue production?
I don't think so. I think if I were Boeing, what I would do is I would come on the market with a brand new airplane and build into the airplane something to do with, purifying the air. And market it that way. That's what I would do. I'd start thinking of coming up with a completely new airplane that recirculates the air in a certain way, purifies the air, as well as being built out of composite material like they did with the Boeing 787. That's what I would do. But I mean, I certainly wouldn't. Fulfill the orders by all means. And of course, there's a lot of Boeing 737 operators around the world, and they'd probably take this airplane. But I would start with a brand new project. That's what I would do anyway.
As a pilot, tell me, I took my first flight in the last 4 months ago, and the pilot was telling me that the air circulation system in the plane was highly effective. What do they call it? High filtration, something, the HP, I don't know what it is, but maybe you can help.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Well, the problem with the filtration system is we're taking air from the engines. And that's what they're doing. With the 787, they used a different system. And I think, we need to look at the design of the air systems on aircraft in order to bring in purified air, and if that air is recirculated, it's put through a filtration system and comes out filtered, so that if there is anybody that's got a virus or a cold or whatever it may be on the plane, that cold doesn't recirculate too much through the air. I mean, of course, in a confined space like an airplane, you're going to get that, and this is why I think a lot of businesses that can afford it are going to be going towards private jet travel. And I think a lot of corporations will end up, buying, 16-seater aircraft and operating them with their own people, just to, stay safe and stay away from viruses. And I can certainly see that happening.
I'll be writing an email to HR asking exactly for that. All right, Fabrizio Poli, thank you very much for joining us here on the News Hour.
you heard my take on the whole 737 MAX thing. So what do you think Boeing should be doing? Let's get comments going below. Let's get the conversation going. I love reading your comments and responding to them. So let's get that conversation flowing. Now, if you want to know more about the 737 MAX, I did do a video a while ago with Captain Mario, who's a very experienced instructor, not only on the 737, but on a number of other aircraft. And he gives his take on what happened, how the accident could have been avoided, etc., etc. That's certainly one you need to check out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to Biz Jet TV, I encourage you to subscribe. Gives us a thumbs up. And if you want to do a one-to-one call with me, where we can talk specifically about your needs, then just ping me an email and we'll get in touch and we'll schedule you in. And that's all from Fabrizio Poli on Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.